So my name's Henry. I play bass and I do vocals in Flowvers.
I'm Connor. I'm drummer. We're a four-piece from the South Coast, playing indie, alternative, post-punk music.
I'm going for 5 years, and yeah.
Great. Okay, so coming back to the questions, and so you mentioned just there that you've been going for 5 years. So tell us the story of the band. You know, how did the sort of idea of the band come together, and how did maybe your sort of local area feed into that? Like, were you all musicians in different bands, and then you formed this one, or yeah, just tell us how it all sort of came together.
When I was 14, I started getting really heavily into like indie music, in particular the Brummie B-Town scene, bands like Swim Deep and Peace and all that stuff. Like, I just massively fell in love with it and instantly was like, I need to be in a band. Like, this is what I want to do. I had some musical background. I played piano and like trumpet and stuff, but I looked at a bass guitar and I thought, you know what, 4 strings can't be too hard. So I messaged this guy I knew on Instagram who I knew played guitar, and I was like, look, I want to put a band together. Do you know anyone that would be interested? I also had a mate that was a drummer, and he said to me he'd be up for it. And so then my friend introduced me to Matisse, our now singer. We had a few sessions just like jamming out together for like over the space of about 3 months. It was good, but you know, it was something that me and Matisse had a real clear vision with it. I think the other boys, maybe one of them played a lot of football, so that took up a lot of his time, and the other one like was in slightly different music and stuff. So then eventually me and Matisse broke out and formed another group. Matisse has known Stan, our guitarist, for years,
Since
from
preschool.
Since preschool, yeah. Knew that he, you know, was like a great guitarist and into a lot of the same music as us. So we hit him up. We were jamming as a 3-piece for a little bit, and then eventually we were looking for a drummer. And
it was through a mutual friend of ours, wasn't it? I went to school with her, and she was friends with Matisse. And Matisse just I think he put something on his story, like on social media, and just said, "We're looking for a drummer." And she messaged me and said, "Oh, I've got a friend. He's looking for a drummer. Would you be interested?" I just went from there, really, because
we owe everything to her, because we would not, we'd be pretty screwed without as tight a drummer as Connor is. So
she's trying to flat me now.
Thank you to her.
Because we were all at school at the time, so we were 15? Probably we were 15, you were 14.
15.
15, we were 15, 16. It was strange because almost we all went to different schools. None of us went to the same school, so it was a real sort of coming together of people knowing people. So like you and Matisse knew each other, Matisse knew Stan, and I knew mutual friends, sort of thing. So it was an interesting way of kind of us forming, because we kind of went from 4 people that didn't really know each other to now like doing all this together. So.
Yeah, and I mean, in regards to you said about how the local music scene fed into what we were doing, I think really as a young band, like, we owe a lot to the Portsmouth music scene. You know, we had the Wedge Drums was the venue that we'd all been going to growing up.
Yeah.
And we started playing there like pretty quickly, starting off in the edge of the Wedge and then eventually headlining the main room and stuff. But we loved that venue. Like every time we played there, it was just like electrifying excitement.
We still get it now. We haven't been down there in quite a while, but we played down there a couple of years ago, and it's still got that. I don't know if it's the nostalgia to it or just the venue itself. There's something really special about playing that room for us as a whole. And Portsmouth itself, though, has got a couple of cool venues as well, which did really help on our way up of being able to jump in between them all.
Yeah.
So you're in studio at the moment. How do, with your band, how do the ideas sort of typically form and come together?
It's really a really collaborative process, actually, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, we do a lot of. I wouldn't say different, because I think a lot of bands do it as well, but we don't have specific writing sessions or writing days. We kind of just go into a practice room with the mindset of, we'll just jam out some new ideas. We'll run through the set, make sure that's all ticking over, and then it's just kind of, we'll just chuck things about and play a few guitar lines, kind of jam over the top of it. Half the time we end up doing like 10-minute versions of just like round these riffs we've got and seeing what works. And at the end we go, oh, that was really sick. Like, we really like this bit. If we could then just condense that down into 2.5, 3 minutes. So it's really nice, actually. It's a real relaxed way of writing. We've all got our input, and it's not like a pressured environment, I don't think, ever with our songwriting. So free flowing.
I think what's nice about it is you know, even if someone does bring an idea to an initial idea that can spark a bit of inspiration, there's never an ego battle of this is my song that I've written. Do you know what I mean? All four of us, we write our own parts, and like, even if something spans from a particular idea, like that never takes over in the form of ego. It's always like, no, this is our song that we've written as a four.
We're very aware that if all four, if it wasn't the four of us, it wouldn't be
the same.
Flowvers.
No,
is we all bring something to the table in different ways, and we're quite different people in like what music we listen to and the sort of music we play outside of the band. So I think if you were to change one of those cogs, the machine would be completely different. So I think, like I said, there's no ego battles with it, which is really nice.
Well, I mean, I saw you guys at the Great Escape this year, and you were definitely one of my sort of highlights of the whole festival. It was like outside of like this sort of weird tent kind of stage. But you know, I was interested because when you were on stage, you were great, and the confidence looked like it was already there. Are you a band who every time you are playing, you can sort of feel yourselves growing in confidence, or is it at this point, 5 years in, is it just sort of like second nature when you step on stage?
Yeah, and I think now kind of it gets to the point, speaking personally, is the nerves don't really get to me anymore. And I think we don't seem to get nervous before shows. We're all very relaxed. We're quite relaxed people as is. So I think that then reflects as well on stage, that we're never really pressured, but I think as a band, our chemistry on stage now is better than it's ever been. We're so comfortable playing as a band. There's no shocks or surprises while we're playing.
I think as well, it's really nice whenever we write new songs that we're really excited about. I think we get this sudden like recharge almost of excitement at live shows, and like we're so happy to finally hear the songs that we've been hearing in rehearsals suddenly be like received live. And I think that's one thing that was really exciting about Great Escape. It was like having the platform to play in front of a lot of people, because for us, like, we don't really play, it's, you know, it's common that we're playing in front of 20 people, and so actually to be playing in front of a few hundred is always really exciting for us. I mean, I was really ill for that Great Escape show, so I appreciate you saying that you thought it was good, because I thought it was awful. But it was still really nice to be able to play the new stuff in front of a lot of people.
So as we look forward then into 2023, obviously first in terms of live, but in terms of music as well, without giving too much away, what do you think your sort of aims and wishes are for the year ahead?
I think we've got a lot of kind of regrouping to do as a band. I think we've been struggling a little bit recently with transitions of people moving away and like changes in our lives and stuff. And I think even just before coming up for this studio session, we were all feeling very deflated. I think having these 3 days in the studio has really put some inspiration back in us. And so I guess the goal is going to be just really like refining what it means for us to be in this band, and hopefully making, you know, everything we put out and everything we do exciting for viewers, instead of just what we feel recently has been quite nonchalant, and I don't know, putting more effort in and believing in ourselves again. That's the goal for 2023.
I think that's the goal within the band, and I think outside the band we've got a few shows to wrap up this year, and then we're looking to get EP out either, it won't be this year, would it be?
It'll be the start of next year.
Early next year, maybe February sort of time. But other than that, we haven't really got heaps booked in for next year. So kind of see what kind of starts poking its head up and see how the EP does. But yeah, I mean,
There will be stuff.
Yeah.
There will be stuff.
Great. That's exciting, guys. Well, thank you for taking the time today. And we'll be sure to be supporting whatever's to come across uni campuses across the UK. Obviously, best of luck with the studio time. And yeah, we can't wait to have you guys on the Class Of.
Thank you so much.
Wicked.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Nice
having
one.
us.